Hi, Matt Sanders here. Today I'd like to share with you a brief book review on this work, which is entitled Life After the Diagnosis, Expert Advice on Living Well with Serious Illness for Patients and Caregivers by author Dr. Stephen Z. Pantilat. Dr. Pantilat did a beautiful job on this work. This book is suitable for doctors, of course, and nurses, but also social workers and for us as chaplains. The book has solid clinical advice, guidance, and suggestions, which is evidence-based, and at the same time, the book is heartfelt. It really captures the human dimension, the human element. And the author himself has, you can tell, a rich, deep spirituality of his own, respect for people who are facing serious illness and who are facing death and those who are grieving the loss of loved ones. So he's got a beautiful approach throughout the whole book. I'd like to share with you just a couple of paragraphs. In one of the chapters, he addresses some of the myths of palliative care. And one of the myths that he addresses is this idea that palliative care is basically just about helping people have a good death. He says that's a myth. And his reflection on that is as follows. This is from page 263 and following. He says, here's the truth. Palliative care is about more than helping you to have a good death. I've cared for thousands of seriously ill people and have been with many of them as they died, but I've never seen a good death. And I don't believe that it exists. Simply put, there is no good death. The truth is that the end of life is filled with loss, sadness, grief, none of which are good. Some deaths are more peaceful, humane, dignified, pain-free, and comfortable than others, and I do my best to make them so. I have no doubt that this kind of death is better than a death filled with pain, chaos, and discomfort. Too often the medical care provided makes things worse and only adds to patients' pain, discomfort, and loss of dignity. Even when we're able to help patients be at peace, be dignified, and be pain-free, death is still not good. I can't imagine a death so good that people line up for it. Quite the opposite. People embrace life and want to live it as well and as long as possible. I'm not in the business of good death, I'm in the business of good life. The focus of palliative care is not on death, but on life. It's on helping you live as well as possible for as long as possible. Palliative care can help make the end of life more comfortable and peaceful, but its greatest benefit is in helping you live well and long. It does so by helping you understand your goals and determining what treatments can help you achieve them. I think that's very beautifully spoken, very beautifully said, and gives you a sense of how the author approaches this topic. And he has also some figures. I'm kind of a fan of illustrations and so forth. Helps me to grasp a topic. And here we see in figure 12.2 on page 261, he indicates through this simple illustration that the discipline of hospice and the efforts of end-of-life care are part of a larger body of care, which we call palliative care. As we're describing or helping families or patients understand what palliative care is about, a figure as simple as this perhaps could be utilized in helping folks to get a better sense of what is palliative care. And here we have another figure, figure 12.1 on page 259. This is entitled Current Approach to Palliative Care Alongside Any Treatment for Your Illness. And he offers this quote as a summary of what palliative care is: live as well as possible for as long as possible. And so this image, this illustration, he goes into detail to talk about how do we understand palliative care in relation to hospice care, in relation to disease-focused treatment versus symptom-focused treatment. And again, I find that very helpful in helping me to grasp what this palliative care thing is about, to give me language and images and examples. So when I'm working with patients and families, I can help explain it in a way that's more useful for them, more helpful. So I know that's very brief, but I want to recommend again, study this book. Get a copy for yourself. If you see all my pages, I've got notes throughout the whole book. I spent weeks and weeks studying this in depth, and it's worth the effort. And I will also put a link below for one of the videos by Dr. Pantilat here on YouTube if you want to check that out. So again, I recommend you get this book, Life After the Diagnosis, Expert Advice on Living Well with Serious Illness for Patients and Caregivers. Author Stephen Z. Pantilat, MD. Bye for now.